also have the privilege of having with us Mr. Alok Agarwal, who is a leading voice at the intersection of artificial intelligence, public platforms and digital inclusion. So let's put our hands together as I welcome Mr. Alok Agarwal to address the August House.
Good evening. Thanks, Hemant, for having me here. I came in as a last-minute replacement for my co-founder, Shashi. So not many people really know me here. It is difficult to talk at the end of a day where I'm sure whatever I'm going to talk about has already been spoken about by somebody during the day, and also everybody is anxious to get back on a Saturday evening. But, like every story, they say to make a great story, start by scaring people first. So I'm going to start by scaring people a little bit by talking about the threats to the entire education system. With AI, the entire education system will get completely transformed and disrupted in the next few years, right? It will be able to do a lot of what our educational systems do right now, and I'm sure many people spoke about that. But it will fundamentally completely replace the whole ethos of the education system, which is built on 16 plus years, till you become relevant to the society with at least a graduation degree, and if you do post-graduation, etc., it's even longer. And people will start questioning, why do I need these degrees? Because A, AI can teach me all that I want. B, my job opportunities, etc., are no longer going to value these degrees because they're looking for completely different skills. A lot of what our people involved in the education system, whether it's administrators, staff, and faculty, etc., are going to get automated or they need to get changed. And there is already, Hitesh briefly spoke about that just a while back, which is there is a ever-growing gap between industry and the education system, where industry says, I can't find the right people, and education system says, you don't give our students jobs, right? And therefore, that is going to get even more widened with the AI system coming in. And this is going to impact our institutions, which are at the end of the day also business entities, and we need to keep them running as a business entity. The business model is going to dramatically change, and therefore it's going to impact millions of jobs of people engaged in the entire educational system, right through and especially at the higher education system. It may not happen in 3 to 5 years. A lot of big voices keep saying, oh, it will happen by 2030, etc. I don't personally believe it will happen by 2030, but start imagining 35, 40. And educational institutions are built over long periods of time. Many of them have been around for decades, centuries, etc. And there is something which cannot be replaced overnight. Also, one core thing we need to kind of appreciate is the fact that the society appreciates is the fact that the educational system does not just instill knowledge, learning and skills, but it also instills values. It builds a social community feeling amongst our students as they grow up. It provides a safe haven where students come together, and that collectiveness is something which also grows individuals into the long-term careers and as good citizens in their life. And therefore, we have to get ready so that it doesn't all go down. So while there are these imminent threats, but there are also opportunities. So while on the one hand we are saying AI is going to transform everything, which requires everybody to relearn. And who will provide that relearning? The existing educational system has this opportunity to provide that relearning. And therefore, that's really the opportunity we should focus on. One of the, my observations, having spoken to various people within the system over the last 2 years, and more importantly, speaking to students. We are currently conducting a very large-scale study among students, educators, etc. Across India. And one of the things we find is that while students are enthusiastic, or young people are enthusiastic, young workers, about the possibilities of AI, while they keep hearing that future prospects may be under threat, but they are enthusiastic and excited, the seniors, whether in the education system or in the industry, are cynical. We don't really know what will happen, what are the guardrails, what are the safety, what will happen to my data, etc., etc. I think that is the first thing which needs to change. We need to change that cynicism to reflect the excitement of the opportunity being presented, which our young people are bringing forth. Because the gap will be even more with slightly older people. They are not in the education system, they don't have as many opportunities to learn, etc. And therefore, what is it that can be done? So let me talk about the way I see these opportunities. And there could be more, but I see 4 distinct opportunities which exist for the education system. I think there is going to be a much larger student opportunity available, much larger population of students, not just the 6 to 22, or in case of higher education, 18 to 22 or 18 to 25, but actually 6 to 60, because everybody will need to learn this new paradigm, reorient themselves in how to live in a world of a parallel intelligence, right? There is one level of higher education, which is the management schools, which have actually understood this very well. You know, when I went to a management school, it used to be only undergraduate courses. But now they have many, many options of executive programs, management development programs, etc., at various levels of career opportunities, etc., right up to the senior-most leadership level. They keep bringing people back to school. Can the entire higher education system start thinking of this as an opportunity? How do I keep bringing the 30-year-old, 35-year-old, 40-year-old, because they all need to learn this new technology called AI, right? And therefore, what is it that will need to be done? What we teach and how we teach needs to transform. It also presents a great opportunity, you know, so not all teachers are equal. Some are more competent in teaching and in their subject areas, and some are less competent. But with AI plus human endeavor, a lot of these gaps can be bridged. So an average teacher can also become a great teacher at par with the best in their fields with the help of AI. But how do we use those applications are still not clear. Even the biggest companies are not able to crack that, because the technology companies simply cannot do it. They don't understand learning systems, they don't understand pedagogy, they don't understand the way the entire education system is built, which is what people like yourselves will be able to offer to these technology solutions. So that becomes an important thing. However, one thing to keep in mind is that we cannot have a curriculum which will be there for 5 years, 10 years, etc. Curriculum will need to change every 6 months, because the capabilities of these models will continue to improve all the time. What they can do today will be obsolete before March next year, and there will be a lot more new capabilities which will come in. So with that, you know, there are, for example, some things the entire education system can do immediately to start building opportunities for themselves. Number one, courses on AI literacy, right? People need to learn AI. So while the young people, like I said, go and experiment themselves, but even they are, even they are not, very conversant with the higher order tools. So that's one opportunity. Like I talked about, converting all curriculum into an AI-led curriculum, and how do I therefore teach a subject along with the use and practice of AI. Of course, within the field, in terms of data science, engineering, etc., a lot more opportunity will be presented because people will be interested in working in the field. And finally, in an AI world, a lot more people will need to be entrepreneurs, will want to be entrepreneurs. So do we start also encouraging them through entrepreneurship related courses and programs embedded into each specialization area, and so on. So with that, I want to close my talk today. There is a threat, but let us be cognizant of the great opportunity which is being presented and see how we can leverage that to the best of our knowledge. Thank you.